Plaintiff Carlos Coriano and his girlfriend Cherry say in 2001, Carlos had sex with the defendant a few times, and then she claimed she was pregnant with his baby. Carlos says when the child was 5, he asked for a DNA test, but the defendant refused and then disappeared. Carlos has not seen the child in 10 years, so he petitioned the court today for a DNA test. Defendant Janelle Arellano insists today is the first time Carlos has ever asked for a paternity test, and the only reason he wants one is because he was served with child support papers. Janelle says she knows Carlos is her child's father, and she's eager to prove that to him today.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right. And sir, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test. Yeah. Obviously have a question about the paternity of a child. So why don't you give us some background on your relationship?
I will give you a background by myself.
Okay.
You know, I was in the penitentiary. I was out there bad. You know, I got my life together.
Yeah.
And, you know, I met Janelle in 2001. You know, she wasn't my lady or nothing. We was fooling around and stuff like that.
Had you gotten your life turned around by then?
Yeah, my life had been turned around.
Good.
And, you know, I tried to do, and then one day she called me and tells me, oh, I got to come over there. And then when I saw her, she was, you know, pregnant. She was like, this is your baby. I was like, oh, okay, you know. I did my thing, you know. I took care of her. I even went to the hospital, signed the birth certificate and everything. And then after that, I didn't see her after that. And then she bumped into one of my family members.
Why didn't you see her if you...
I don't know where she was at.
Actually, you're the one who disappeared.
No, you know what I was at. You know, you bump into my family. You know, I bumped into you in the car one time. And you told me woo, 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 and stuff like that.
When did you break up?
We never was together.
Okay.
We never was together. We never was together.
How many times did you all...
We just see each other and do some fling things.
Okay.
Quick as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm keeping it real.
About how many times? 5, 10?
Like 2, 3 times, that's it. Because, you know, I had other broads too, you know?
Right.
I just got out the joint. I'm not trying to be with nobody, you know? And then we got into a little argument, and then I wanted DNA. After that, I didn't see her.
How long after the child had been born did this happen?
She was 5 years old. You know, don't get me wrong. She used to let me see the baby and stuff like that. I give her that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking she's mine. You know.
And then did that ever stop?
Yeah, it stopped when she was 5 years old.
Why?
Because when I asked her for a DNA.
It's because he forgot to pick her up from school, and we never seen her from there.
I had her in my crib. You came to my crib and asked, and she was there. She was in my crib. You better stop lying.
So what made you, after 5 years, want to test, though?
Because I just had a feeling, you know.
Okay.
That's what it was. I just had a feeling, and I told her I wanted DNA.
And what'd she say?
She said, I'll give you one, don't worry about it. And from there, she disappeared. I didn't see her since.
How long ago was that?
Right now, it's about 10 years now.
Ma'am, give me your side.
First and foremost, I was young and dumb, and you know the rest, but I know who I was young and dumb with. I know he's the dad. When I first met him, I was about 21 years old. I had started working at a bar. I met him at the bar that I was working with. Basically, we went back to my house. He was drunk and he was coming in, taking everything out of his pockets, putting everything on the table. Well, I came across his ID. He first told me he was about 9 to 10 years older than me, which he looked the age, so it didn't really bother me. But when he was coming to my house, pulling out all his things drunk, I came across his ID. And I told him, ew, dude, you're like my dad's age. But by then it was already too late. I was already pregnant. So.
And what happened from there?
Basically, you know, like.
You came to him and said, I'm pregnant with your child?
And, you know, he was there. And we weren't really dating. So, you know, he would come around during the pregnancy here and there, but it wasn't really.
Were you seeing anyone else?
No.
You had not been seeing anyone else during that same time?
No.
So it was no way the child could be someone else's?
No.
Okay.
And he was there for a little while. He would pick her up from school, which was a great help to me. He would walk her over to my mom's house. One day I was at work and it was about 6:15 and her school called stating that she hadn't been picked up. And so when I went to go pick her up, that was basically the last time we seen him. We didn't really have any contact. I would call him to come see her, but he never made an effort.
Why do you think it stopped so suddenly?
I don't know.
Okay, and tell me when he asked about the DNA test. Was it
He
around
never
that
asked
same
me for
time?
DNA because at the hospital they were willing to give him a DNA, and him and his sister.
So this is the first time he's asked for one?
Yes. Yes.
Why do
If he
you-
would have came to, I would have gave him one, no doubt.
Okay, what do you think provoked it?
Maybe the child support papers that he got in the mail.
When?
Just this year, like the beginning, April,
This is the
March
first
of this
time
year.
he's been
yeah.
all right.
But I mean, he wasted his time and his patience because I wasn't going to send anything in because he was scot-free.
I don't understand what you mean. You weren't going to send anything
I wasn't
in.
going to sign any papers. I wasn't going to.
Saying what?
To the child support. They wanted to know. They wanted information, but I ignored every letter that.
Why?
they
You didn't
sent.
want the child support?
Why? I've always taken care of her. She's always been well taken care of. I
Good.
didn't bust my
Hold on,
butt
sir.
18 and a half
How much
hours
how much
every
is her
day.
college fund? How much you have in there?
About 25,000.
You know, college by the time she's 18 is going to cost about 50 a year. Think you'll have that put away?
Not off bat, but I'll
Pardon?
have at least not off.
Okay, that's why you
not all
do
of
need
it.
his child support for your child. I know whatever you think about what you need or what your child needs right now is not enough for her to succeed in this society. In this society, you need advanced training beyond high school.
Oh,
And it
absolutely.
costs money. And we don't want you to saddle that child with loans when you got enough money right now that you can put away because she's well taken care of. So much so she don't need her father's money. She don't need her father's money. She got $25,000 for college. You need your child support. Please fill those papers out. I'm telling you, your child gonna look at you like a fool. I'm sick of him. I'm mad at him. He should have. Well, I ain't want no money from him. I turned it down. You did what? You turned my money down? That was my money. That was you. Turn your own money down. Don't turn my money down. You don't want child support, but you do think this is the reason that he is requesting a DNA test because he was recently served. And you suddenly had religion. Why again?
I was paying child support before this came up. It
No,
was
we're
like
talking
$150.
about why you suddenly
Well,
wanted
she
to
waited
know
10
after.
years.
Pardon me?
She waited 10 years to take me to child support. I had plenty of other jobs.
So it
and I-
does have something to do with child
Yeah, it got
support.
to do with this, you know?
Okay,
I
so
don't got-
before you were asked to pay, yeah, that's my baby. I ain't got to pay no money. That's my baby. Yeah, but one time you get them, boom, you got to pay. That ain't my baby. You haven't told me why you don't think she's yours. All I'm hearing now is that she says you want to know now to get out of paying child support. And you say you weren't sleeping with anyone else during that time frame. So it's either his or your mother married. Let me have the results. Or your mother Mary number 2. There was only one Mother Mary. Because I'm sure your child is fine, but she's no Jesus. So we're gonna see. You have any other children?
Yes.
How many?
I have an 18-year-old and I have a 3-year-old
Okay. How about you?
I got a 21, a boy. That's
21.
Yeah.
that he's never seen.
Is your
better get
18-year-old
out my
out of high
business.
school? Your 18-year-old's out of high school?
Yes.
Okay. What college?
She's going to Florida.
Huh?
She left to Florida to go to
No, I
college.
say
out
what
there.
college in Florida?
Florida State.
Wow. You all paying that tuition?
Yes, sir.
How much it costs a year?
A nice grip.
How much? I know what it costs. I want to see if you know.
What she's going to school for. It's
Pardon
only
me?
what she's going to school for. It's only $48 a year.
48,000. Room and board.
No. She lives with my aunt out there in Florida.
So 48 without room and board?
Yes.
That's not true. It's not true. That is not true.
Well, she got
That
a
is
partial
not
scholarship.
true. You don't know what you're talking about because you're lying. And by the way, while you're telling that lie, you're lying on this man too. This is not
Tell
the
her
father
she's
of the
and you
child.
want all your money back.
So you got a lot of explaining to do.
All right, you gotta explain that to your daughter.
Not only college money, now you got to find out who the dad is.
Now curse her out. You wanna go? Told you. Lying on some.
I have nothing to say. I mean, the truth is out, and hey, it is what it is.
You know, I thought she was my daughter. And she gonna lie to me like that, she should have kept it real with me, you know? I asked her for a DNA, that's what she was running. Now when she comes in here, she got slapped right in the face with it. You know, she was sleeping with somebody else. She wasn't even my girlfriend. You know, I just want her to take the name of, my last name for her, off her daughter, so I could move on.